This is your news station, News Center 4. From the News Center of Arkansas, this is Eyewitness News Tonight.
Hart doing well, but Mondale doing better. I'm Carolyn Long.
And I'm Bob Vernon. This is the second Super Tuesday of the Democratic primary. 368 delegates at stake for the three candidates in the race. And tonight, Walter Mondale has been declared the winner in 2 states. But in the 2 others, the races are still too close to call. Gary Hart is doing extremely well, and he's running head-to-head with Mondale in Ohio and Indiana. Hart needed to do well on this primary day in order to keep his political hopes alive. The latest numbers from Maryland, North Carolina, Ohio, and Indiana look like this. In Maryland, Mondale is the projected winner with 32% of the precincts reporting. He has 48% of the vote. In North Carolina, Mondale has gotten his second victory of the night, capturing 37% to Hart's 31%. That's with 2/3 of the vote counted. In the Ohio primary, though, the political picture not so clear. Early counts show Hart with a slight lead, but the winner is undecided. And in the Indiana primary, much the same, Hart again with a small lead, and NBC News is projecting him to be the winner there. The Indiana and Ohio primaries are the most important of the 4 because they have the most delegates. Jesse Jackson running third in all 4 states.
Well, here in Arkansas, today was the last day to sign up to vote in this month's primary. So if you are not already registered, you'll have to wait until November to cast your ballot. Registration for the general election will be open until October 22nd.
The Soviets had hinted that they might do it, boycott the Olympics, but today they still surprised everyone when they made the official announcement. First word of that boycott came on Soviet television. Don Porter has the story.
Through the Soviet news media, Moscow blamed U.S. Olympic organizers and the American government for making it impossible for Russian athletes to compete in Los Angeles. At a recent meeting of the International Olympic Committee, the Soviets sought support for a long list of complaints, ranging from smog and crime in Los Angeles to charging the Reagan administration with fostering anti-Soviet hysteria, political harassment of Russian athletes, and failure to provide adequate security against anti-Soviet demonstrations. Today's pullout announcement blasted American authorities for grossly flouting Olympic ideals. At the same time, the Russians added, "We have not the slightest wish to cast aspersions on the American public or cloud the good feelings linking sportsmen of our country." Don Porter, NBC News.
At the same time, Olympic officials were meeting in the White House, and they were obviously not pleased with the idea of a boycott.
Basically, the charges made by the Soviet Union today are unfounded. It appears that we're paying the price for 1980. Again, the ones that are hurt are the athletes.
The president's press secretary called the boycott totally unjustified, and a State Department spokesman denied that the U.S. is unable to protect the Soviet athletes. If the Soviet government does not change its mind, then the Olympics will simply go on without them, as well as several other Warsaw Pact countries which are likely to follow suit. Dave Woodman will have more on this story later in the newscast.
The Pulaski County School Board has taken its opposition to consolidation another step. Some people might wonder if it's going to have any effect, but the board's doing it anyway. Sheila Crawford King reports that board has penned a letter to a very important man.
The Pulaski County School Board, frustrated over the consolidation order, decided tonight it would send a letter to President Reagan. The letter explains the consolidation issue, and it emphasizes that busing, not race, is the issue.
That we want the President of the United States, who is the highest in the government, to know that we feel this is an unnecessary move by Judge Woods, and if it goes to that far to the Supreme Court, we want them to be able to know that we want their attention.
The letter points out that all of the Pulaski County schools are integrated, with 43 of the 49 schools containing more than 15% black students. It complains that merging the 3 districts would mean, quote, large-scale busing. The board says its concern arises from the fact that a federal judge has so much authority.
We feel that maybe they'll call his attention to the problems that arise in the United States by the power that the federal judge has.
The letter will be sent to President Reagan tomorrow. At the same time, the board also adopted a letter it will send to Pulaski County parents, telling them to remain calm and to support the district in its fight against consolidation. Sheila Crawford-King, Channel 4 Eyewitness News Tonight.
Earlier today, Little Rock School Superintendent Dr. Ed Kelly said that school districts need to begin preparing soon for consolidation. He told a meeting of PTA leaders that the Dentler plan offered in court last week is a workable proposal. Kelly says that it should be used as a guide for merging the three Pulaski County school districts.
That message needs to be, even though the order to consolidate has been stayed, we certainly hope that the order to plan will not be stayed, and that the judge will order and require all three districts to commence planning together.
Consolidation opponents have declined to help with the specifics of that merger plan yet. All three sides are waiting for action from Judge Henry Woods.
And coming up on Eyewitness News tonight, the search continues for a missing pilot.
Also, a gunman gives himself up after killing 3 people.
We'll have a weather update from Tom Bonner and the latest from the sports world with Dave Woodman.
Eyewitness News, sponsored by Safeway, by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Arkansas, by Coleman Quality Check Dairy, and by your Pulaski County Ford dealers.
Aloha! Safeway's fabulous Hawaiian days are on right now. And America's favorite food store invites you to get a taste of Hawaii and save.
Register for a free Hawaiian vacation when you shop Safeway's fabulous Hawaiian days for these great savings. Fire up the grill. It's cookout time, and Safeway regular ground beef is on sale at 98 cents a pound for any size package. And fresh from Safeway, juicy strawberries, special priced at 99 cents a quart.
Safeway, a proud sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team.
A free Hawaiian vacation could be yours when you register to win at Safeway during Hawaiian Days. Register each time you shop Safeway for an exciting trip for 2 to beautiful Hawaii on American Airlines. Accommodations by Island Holiday Tours. 6 other vacations to be won also. 3 days, 2 nights at South Shore Condominiums in Hot Springs. And every Safeway store is giving away a free 6-piece set of luggage during the Hawaiian Day celebration. Shop Safeway and register today. You could be a winner.
The search for a light plane missing since Sunday is to resume in central Arkansas in the morning. Civil Air Patrol officials say 43-year-old Richard Sandow of Iowa took off from Benton Airport in bad weather. The plane was bound for Miami, Oklahoma, and it's along that route the search is centered. The area being searched is extremely rugged terrain. It's feared the pilot may have crashed into a mountain during low visibility. 10 planes will fly the area tomorrow, while crews from the Oklahoma Civil Air Patrol will search the Ozark National Forest farther to the north.
A federal jury will be deciding tomorrow whether a local contracting firm is guilty of bid rigging. The testimony finished up today in the trial of the Ben Hogan Construction Company, and in the morning the final arguments will begin. Then the jury will take up the issue of guilt or innocence. It is alleged that company officials conspired to fix the price they were paid for at least one road paving contract.
More fears this evening about a boost in the interest rate. We'll all pay for car and home loans. Today, the nation's major banks hike their prime rate. That's the interest they charge their best customers, and it's an indicator of the higher rates for everyone else. Now, this latest jump from 12 to 12.5% is the 3rd increase in 2 months. The Reagan administration is blaming the Federal Reserve Board for this trend toward higher interest.
For 5 hours today, there was a dramatic siege outside the Quebec legislature. A gunman armed with a machine gun sprayed the assembly with bullets. 3 people died, another 14 wounded. Tom Kennedy reports that the gunman finally gave himself up.
It began just before 10 this morning. First, the gunman, dressed and armed like a soldier, delivered an audio tape to a nearby radio station. Then he drove to the National Assembly. By the time the people at the radio station contacted police, the man was inside the assembly shooting. Members of the police technical squad swarmed all over the assembly grounds. Barricades were set up and adjoining buildings were evacuated. Police learned that 3 people were dead and 13 others injured, 1 critically, all of them assembly employees. The gunman was holding more than a dozen other employees hostage, and negotiations began. Finally, after 5 hours, the gunman was taken. The only remaining hostage was a sergeant-at-arms. He was released unharmed. Things could have been a lot worse. 50 school children who were touring the National Assembly building were just across the corridor from the gunman when he opened fire. None of them was hurt. Tom Kennedy, CBC News, Quebec City.
An apparent attempt was made today on the life of Libyan strongman Muammar Gaddafi. The exact details still unclear this evening, but the bodies strewn on Tripoli street show that there was a fierce battle between the attackers and Gaddafi's security forces. As many as 30 armed men are believed to have taken part in the assault on the Libyan president's home. The identity of the attackers isn't known, but the Libyan government is claiming that they were trained in Britain and Sudan. Another unknown is where Gaddafi was when the shooting started.
Nearly one-half of all Arkansans over age 65 depend on Medivac. Since its beginning in 1966, 18 years ago, Medivac has helped more Arkansas senior citizens than all other insurance supplements combined. Find out why more Arkansans choose Medivac than any other Medicare supplement. If you're between 65 and 74, write us about Medivac and Medivac Plus, 6th and Gaines, Little Rock. Hurry, enrollment ends May 31st.
All aboard for Coleman Peanut Butter Candy Ice Cream. It's fun to eat, kids. It's just loaded with peanuts. We roast them and toast them and cover them with chocolate. Chunks and chunks of chocolate-covered peanuts in vanilla ice cream. And to top it off, creamy peanut butter. Peanut Butter Candy Ice Cream, just like a candy bar turned into ice cream. Wow! New limited edition Peanut Butter Candy Ice Cream from Coleman.
From economy to luxury in Pulaski County, we're the free to see. Come by and test drive a car or truck. You're shopping smart when you start with us. The free to see. You're Pulaski County for dealers. The free to see. Walk Bennett, Atwood, and more are the free to see.
Summertime is white linen time. Estee Lauder's white linen. A crisp, refreshing fragrance to live in. All summer long. All year long. White Linen by Estee Lauder. Now available at Dillard's.
Being rejected, letters saying thanks for the tape, but not uncommon in the competitive music world.
Identifying the stars of the future is not always easy, but just about everyone agrees that you need luck, timing, and a lot of talent. Well, tonight we're going to talk with Mel Hanks. He will have part 2 of his special series and a look at the odds of making it big.
Rainey, a 15-year veteran of the Arkansas music wars who may be on the verge of national success. Barbara is recording at Arca Studios in Little Rock and has financed her own record, Soon as I Lose 10 Pounds.
There's a boy down the street who knocked us off my feet. I'm pretty sure he'll come around. I think it'd be real slick if we could trade some tricks. Soon as I lose 10 pounds.
Barbara sings with the band Catfish at local nightclubs to help pay for her recording career, a career that costs big money. For 2,000 copies of 10 Pounds, Barbara and her husband have had to spend a total of $6,000. And so far for 10 Pounds, no bites.
Sometimes I get tired and I think, oh boy, what's the use? But never, ever have I ever thought I would quit singing.
Right now, we've got a young lady from North Little Rock, Arkansas. Here is Miss Barbara Rainey.
The Arkansas performer certainly has no reason to quit. The brass ring is within sight. A few weeks ago, she won a national talent contest and will be featured on the Nashville network. But with the high spots come the long, hard days of paying dues and working upstairs as a receptionist to make ends meet. Do you make a living?
Yeah, I have, yeah, for a long time. I've been really fortunate to always make a living on my music. There's been maybe 2 times in my whole life I've had to go package spaghetti one time, you know, and work on cars and things like that.
Tomorrow, the Little Rock launching pad and getting national recognition of an Arkansas sound. Mel Hanks, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
We're kind of proud of her.
Absolutely.
All
She's got a
right.
gorgeous voice.
She really does.
She'll make it.
I think so. We hope so. What are you making up tonight?
Not making up a thing. We got it all straight now, Carolyn. I'm not going to brag on the weekend just yet, but we will brag on the next couple of days coming up. They're going to be very nice. After a chilly night tonight, and there's a frost warning out for a portion of the state. Oh, and incidentally, a shower did creep into the north sections. Tell you about that in just a second. Very light stuff, insignificant, be gone soon. 69 was our high today. It seemed more chilly than that. North wind at 15 miles an hour most of the day added a chill factor. Low last night was 50. Temperature right now is 61. It's clear here. Humidity is still low for this time of night, 48%. Barometer is high, 30, 17, steady. The wind is coming in from the west at 8. It probably is going to die down to near nothing in an hour or so, at least less than 5 miles an hour. Current satellite shows a strong low right here that kicked up the northwest breeze today, coupled with a clockwise circulation around the high that's out to the west of us. A slackening frontal system, by slackening I mean slackening the pressure, moving on out, will allow the wind to calm down, and the center of the high will get pretty much on top of us before the night is over, clear things out with calm winds, clear skies, and the basic cold nature of the air we have on top of us, and it is right out of Canada, incidentally, not off the Pacific. Those 3 factors will combine to cause a chilly evening. There is a frost warning out for temperatures at least in the mid-30s for that area north of a line from Siloam Springs to Marshall to Batesville. Okay, that's really about the northern 1/5 of the state, roughly. New system coming in, but it's going to fall short and come to the north of us. By short, being a short front like that one up here. Look at the snowfall to the north of the low, incidentally, and the frontal system itself has kicked up some heavy thunderstorms this evening. They continue on radar. Watch that thing. This time tomorrow, or really at sunset tomorrow, it'll be in here, but it will not be long enough to drag across Arkansas, so don't look for an effect from it. So for the next 2 days, probably 3 days, we're going to have a good deal of sunshine, at least the next 2, and a slow warming temperature at the same time. All those fronts continue moving that way. The high will still have us well under its control tomorrow, so even though tomorrow will be a tiny bit cooler than normal, it'll be warmer than today. Severe thunderstorms in the central Atlantic coastline tonight. 1-inch amounts of rainfall from those as they came through. And earlier this evening, that top end of the front had the same sort of thing, with winds up to 70 miles an hour at times. And the whip around cloudiness from this, a piece of it drifted, or a few pieces of it drifted into North Arkansas, and some very light showers exist up there. They'll be gone probably in 1 hour, and gone for several days. We'll be in the 40s tonight over most of the state, but those 30s in the valleys we mentioned, and 30s well to the north of us. Then tomorrow recovering into the 60s through the green area, 70s through the blue area. Tonight it's in the 55 to 60 degree range, 63 at Hope, 63 at Hot Springs, 60 at Pine Bluff, 62 out at Adams Field. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:11, sunset 8 p.m. We're 1.5 inches above normal, an unusual phrase to hear. Clear skies, calm wind, frost warning north of a line from Siloam Springs to Marshall to Batesville. Low of 44 in Little Rock is expected, and probably about 46 degrees on the south border. Tomorrow, loads of sunshine and the light variable wind. A pleasant day, a high of 75, a low of 55 tomorrow night. An even warmer day with a few fleecy clouds drifting over on Thursday, but essentially loads of sunshine. A high up around 85. It'll be in the 80s statewide on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, partly cloudy. At this time, it looks like no major system will come through, but some showers each day. We'll watch that carefully for you. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s, and again, no bragging on the weekend yet. That's bad luck when you do that on Tuesday.
Thank you, Tom.
We'll be right back.
Sunday is Mother's Day.
We got great gifts at Fred's.
Mom will love The Boss by Windmere. Powerful and fast drying, now with rebate incredibly priced. Only $3.99 at Fred's.
Mine too.
Windmere's selection of curling irons and brushes give just the right set to any type hair. Mom's choice at Fred's, just $1.99 with rebate.
This is just what I wanted.
Only the best for Mom from Fred's.
This man is saving money right now.
Herman, what are you doing?
Saving money!
He called AP&L to have a free air conditioning switch installed on his qualifying central air conditioning unit. Now he receives a credit on his summer electric bills. He's one of over 89,000 AP&L customers who saved an average of $39 each in 1983, and there's been no loss of comfort in his home. Call AP&L today to have your free air conditioning switch installed and start saving money.
It's easy when you know how.
The free air conditioning switch. It's easy money.
More Ford is selling more new cars, trucks, and vans than ever before. We're overstocked, and that means big savings for you. Our inventory has reached $4 million, and that's too high. We've reduced the price of every new car, truck, and van on our lot. Tremendous savings, more savings. But you'd better come in today because these great deals are going fast. More Ford across the freeway from McCain Mall in North Little Rock. More Ford, where inventory reduction means more savings to you.
The Shell Oil Company announces its new gold standard in gasoline. New SU-2000 Super Unleaded Gasoline. So unique, it's patented. SU-2000 is designed to reduce critical intake deposits that may be causing engine knock. It helps keep your engine clean mile after mile. New SU-2000, a gasoline designed for the way you drive today and tomorrow. High-octane SU-2000.
Fill up with 8 gallons or more of SU-2000 and get a free liter of Coke this Friday and Saturday.
Harry S. Truman would have been 100 years old today. Truman was at least one of the nation's most unpopular presidents while he was in office, but he has become increasingly popular since his death. About 150 people gathered at the Truman Library in Independence, Missouri today to remember the man who coined the phrase, "The buck stops here." 2 wreaths were placed at the gravesite, one by an Army major who represented President Reagan, and the other by the governor of Missouri.
Quite a man. Let's go to sports now.
All right, Bob, to talk a little bit more about that boycott story or pullout story that you had earlier. With the Soviet boycott announcement today, U.S. and international Olympic officials are waiting to see what the other Eastern European bloc countries will do. Romania and Yugoslavia say they won't be influenced by the Soviet decision today. Poland, Hungary, and Czechoslovakia just aren't saying. How do American athletes feel about the Russian pullout? Well, 2 of our top track stars are disappointed.
I don't think it's going to affect me. I think it's going to affect the Olympic movement, but I'm kind of fed up with the Russians outside of athletics. And when they start doing things inside also, it's just getting to the point where they shoot down an airplane, they boycott the Olympic Games. It's just all crazy. And, you know, it's basically the point where they feel they can do what they want to do, and the world is at their mercy, and I don't feel they are.
I think it's a shame, and it's a pity our world leaders can't leave athletic events alone.
3 games in the NBA playoffs tonight at Milwaukee. The Bucks went up 3 games to 2 on the New Jersey Nets with a 94-82 win.
The Milwaukee Bucks in white. Sidney Moncrief, an excellent move away from Dawkins, 19 points for Moncrief. The Bucks coach Don Nelson was hiding his signals away from the New Jersey Nets bench. Maybe he was calling for Junior Bridgman to make a real pretty pass to Marcus Johnson as Milwaukee builds a 54-40 lead at the half. To the second half, Sidney Moncrief on a steal. He drives on Otis Birdsong, makes the move. An outstanding game for Moncrief. Lister on the block. Pressey on the save. Bucks rolling. Moncrief to Marcus Johnson. The Bucks go on to down the New Jersey Nets 94-82, taking a 3-game-2 lead in their best-of-7 series.
Utah Jazz and Phoenix are in the second quarter of their game tonight. Utah trying to stave off elimination. They lead 37-25 in the second quarter. Dallas will try to hold off Los Angeles and drag their series out a little more, and that game just underway on the West Coast. After last night's rainout, the Travelers got back into action tonight, and they are tied in the top of the 8th inning. The Jackson Mets 6, the Travelers 6. In the majors tonight, several postponements, including Cincinnati at New York. Philadelphia and Atlanta had an hour and 35-minute rain delay. They've gone 6 innings and are tied 2-2. In the top of the 9th, the Dodgers lead the Cardinals 2-1. San Diego and the Pirates were postponed. So were Houston and Montreal. This afternoon, the Cubs beat San Francisco 12-11. In the American League, Toronto, Baltimore, and Cleveland and New York were rained out. After 6, Chicago leads Milwaukee 1-0. The bottom of the 9th, Detroit has come back to lead Kansas City 5-2. They'll be 24-4 if they win tonight. Oakland 3, Seattle 2 is a final. Texas beat Boston 4-3. Minnesota and California 1-0 Minnesota in the first. And the King Cotton Holiday Basketball Classic will return to Pine Bluff in December. Host team Pine Bluff High's Zebras, defending champion Dunbar of Baltimore, and 6 other high school teams from around the country will make up the field of 8, plus a December 20th game between the Razorbacks and Minnesota, all at the Pine Bluff Convention Center. Plans announced today at a news conference in that city. And running back Walter Payton ended speculation that he would jump to the USFL by signing 3 one-year contracts said to be worth as much as $1.5 million a year with the Chicago Bears today. We'll have more on the Soviet Olympic pullout as well as the politics coming up at 10:30 on a special report, I understand, right after Eyewitness News.
True, thanks for mentioning that. We'll be back.
Firestone announces our master plan for better car care. Master Care. It's the mastermind of Firestone, our engine diagnostic center that virtually eliminates repair guesswork. It's Firestone's Master Care mechanics. It's strict quality control. It's a warranty on parts and labor good nationwide. And that's just the beginning. Our master plan for better car care. Master Care by Firestone.
To win at golf, you have to make all the shots. That's why this Toro is such a winner. In spring, it's a detachment. Fall, it vacuums leaves. It mulches, side discharges, or bags thick, wet grass with ease. And now, it's warranted for 2 years. It's so versatile. It'll even improve your life.
Available at these and other fine Toro dealers.
When it comes to sawing and cutting, or ripping and tracing, and scrolling and shaping, and clamping and holding, and drilling, and routing, and carving, and sanding, come to Kmart for the complete line of quality Black & Decker products. Black & Decker at Kmart, from start to finish.
Kmart, we've got it, and we've got it good.
And finally tonight, an update on the continuing dispute in Conway over rock and roll video. This is the last night cable subscribers can watch MTV, the music video channel. Some residents complain that there was just too much sex and violence in those rock videos. So starting tomorrow, it's MTV out, the Nashville network in. Country music will be put in its place for the next 10 weeks. And then the Cable Systems Programming Committee will make a final decision when that 10 weeks is up, and of course we'll keep you posted on that.
We hope you'll stay with us for the NBC special report concerning some big stories today, the primaries and also the Olympics. Good night.
Good night.
The Arkansas Oldsmobile dealers present a great opportunity for you.